President-elect Donald Trump defending plans for his second-term agenda during an interview with NBC's Kristen Welker on Meet the Press. He also doubled down on his support of Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth ahead of what's expected to be a critical week for that nomination. Let's bring in friend of the show, radio host on WABC New York and author James Golden, better known as Bo Snerdley. Bo, good morning to you, my friend. Let me get to Hegseth and all that in a moment, but just first, are you surprised that his first sit-down interview post-win was with NBC's Meet the Press?
I was a little surprised, actually. I mean, NBC has been particularly hostile to Donald Trump through the campaign. But you know what he demonstrated? Why he won and Kamala didn't. He sat there for over an hour, no notes. She was well prepared. She had a binder full, not of women, but of questions and fact checks. And he aced it. Every single thing, every single question, every single attack that was leveled against him very calmly and methodically, Donald Trump just stated his positions, stated his vision for the country. And again, this is something that Kamala Harris failed to do through the entire campaign. She wouldn't even sit for a 20-minute interview. For an hour, he's over an hour. He did this interview, no notes, and he aced it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he certainly has his pick of networks now. I'm curious what the strategy was behind the scenes for choosing that show. He really just seemed to reiterate and kind of double down on all the points that we heard on the campaign trail. So, Bo, did you walk away with any surprises from what he said?
Not surprises, but I walked away. Well, yes, one surprise. His answer when she tried to bait him into the talk about the divisiveness, and he answered in a way he said, look, I love, use the word love, the people that didn't vote for him, and said he's going to treat them just as he would treat the most fervent MAGA person. Now, this is a guy who has been subject to being vilified by everybody. What's his response? He's often painted as someone who's uncaring. What is his response to all of this? He loves all of Americans, every American. He wants to actually bring prosperity back to the country, improve everyone's lives through the policies. And he was very clear about his policies, too. He was very clear about what he wants to do with immigration. He was very clear that he has sympathy for the DACA, and he questioned why Democrats, despite talking, haven't fixed DACA. So I think there are a lot of people that are not going to be just surprised by some of the things he said in the interview, but the way that he governed the second time around. Clearly, this is a very different man than walked in for his first term. He understands what he wants to do, and he understands the power of the government and what he can do. So I'm looking forward to seeing how all of this plays out.
And what day one, that first 100 days looks like. You bring up some, political rivals, people who didn't vote for him, Bo. I wanted to play a bit of sound because NBC's Kristen Welker pressing President-elect Trump over whether or not his DOJ will go after his political opponents. Take a listen.
To the people who say that you're now directing your Justice Department to investigate 2020, and they want to move on.
Very capable. I think Pam is going to be great.
Precious resources.
By the way,
is that what you want them to do?
Just so you know, I have the right to do that, but I'm not interested in that.
Oh, you're not. You're not going to do that.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I have the absolute right. I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions.
Bo, what's the likelihood that we'll see some politically charged cases, or are those concerns being overblown?
I think there is a likelihood that we will see, I don't know whether they're politically charged. I would say what they are is judicially charged cases. There has been serious corruption stemming from the DOJ, stemming from the Jan 6 committee. Now, Congress should take the lead in investigating some of these things. But where there are criminal referrals, there should be action. And I expect that and I hope that there will be. This weaponization that took place under the Biden administration and the Obama administration needs to be addressed. It can only be addressed if it's called out and if people are held accountable for